Warning. I chain smoke and I say fuck a lot. But I accept myself for the way I am. I accept you too. Viewer discretion advised.
Hello everybody. Today is December 25th, 2019. So Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. If not, Happy Holidays. The other day I signed up to newspapers.com again, the 7-day trial, just to do a little more digging. I don't remember what email address I used, but I did get a few things before I forgot. So this may not be anything major, but I figured I could give you guys some stocking stuffings at least. Some things I found interesting.
Maxwell Communications, which mostly operates in the United States, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in New York this week, being December 19, 1991. Infuriating many of the company's creditors, the front office is investigating the disappearance of assets which may be worth more than $700 million from pension funds and companies under Maxwell's control. Maxwell's sons Kevin, 32, and Ian, 35, were back in court Wednesday giving details about the opaque finances of Maxwell's web of as many as 400 companies. The High Court had curbed the brothers' travel but returned their passports Wednesday so Kevin could fly to New York for talks aimed at saving the Daily News, and so Ian could spend Christmas with his family in the U.S. The court adjourned to Thursday a hearing on a plea by Kevin, who wants the right to remain silent if criminal charges are filed. Maxwell's daughter ordered the tycoon's documents to be shredded. Maxwell's daughter, Ghislaine, 29, ordered the tycoon's private documents aboard his yacht to be shredded soon after he was lost overboard. Quote, Ghislaine rushed through the yacht's lounges and cabins, rifled drawers and cabinets, plucking documents from them discriminately and throwing them to the ground, wrote senior reporter John Jackson, who said he witnessed the incident on November 8th. She shouted to the crew, I order you to shred immediately everything I have thrown on the floor. Asked why he didn't report this earlier, Jackson said, it didn't really come to mind until reports came over the weekend that faxes had gone missing. The paper said Ghislaine Maxwell in New York totally and utterly denied the allegations. So she ran around the yacht, frantically going through paperwork, throwing it on the floor to be shredded. Nothing weird about that. And she denies it too. But that's what she does. She denies everything. From the Sydney Morning Herald from December of 1995. Captain Bob's Girl Afloat. One of the most coveted Christmas invitations in Sydney was last night's proposed harbor cruise on a 100-foot yacht, organized by trucking magnate Lindsay Fox. This may have something to do with the guest of honor, Ghislaine Maxwell, the beautiful, it's kind of an overstatement, feisty 34-year-old daughter of the late disgraced media baron Robert Maxwell, and her millionaire American beau, Jeffrey Epstein, a property developer who is given to zipping around Manhattan in a Rolls-Royce Silver Spirit. Ghislaine, who has distanced herself from her two bankrupted brothers, Kevin and Ian, is said to be a loyal supporter of her late father, Captain Bob. That's nothing major, but definitely interesting that she distanced herself from her bankrupt brothers. The Santa Fe, August 2006. Governor to dump cash from billionaire. Financier who owns mansion in Santa Fe County is charged in Florida with teen sex scandal. Government Bill Richardson plans to donate money he received from a billionaire financier recently indicted in Florida on felony charges of soliciting prostitutes. According to state campaign contribution reports, Epstein gave $50 grand for Governor Bill Richardson's 2002 campaign and under the name of one of his companies, the Zorro Trust. Another $50,000 to Richardson's re-election campaign this year. $15 grand to Attorney General candidate Gary King. $10 grand to State Land Commissioner candidate Jim Baca. $2 grand to Santa Fe County Sheriff Greg Solano. Yeah, you saw that right. Later on, the sheriff was arrested. Richardson's campaign manager, Amanda Cooper, said Tuesday that the campaign would donate the money from the Zorro Trust to charities around the state. King said Tuesday that, quote, to avoid any appearance of impropriety, he plans to return the $15 grand to Epstein. Quote, I don't think I've ever met him personally, King said. He knows other members of my family better. Epstein bought his 10,000-acre Zorro Ranch in Stanley from King's father, former Governor Bruce King, in 1993. August said he discussed with his campaign treasurer whether to return the donation. Solano says he's not in a position to return his Epstein donation. I was $2,500 in debt after the primary, the sheriff said. There isn't any to return. The sheriff was later arrested. That's kind of interesting. Former Sheriff Greg Solano was booked in the Santa Fe County Jail to begin serving his 3-month sentence for selling sheriff's office property on eBay and pocketing the money. Originally, Solano was charged with 252 counts of embezzlement or fraud for eBay sales that included bulletproof vests, holsters, cell phones, and office equipment. He pleaded guilty to 5 counts of third-degree fraud and was ordered to pay back $25,000. His actual sentence from District Judge Stephen Pfeffer is 15 years. With all but 1 year suspended, he will be on electronic monitoring to fill out that year after he's released from jail, then will be on probation for 4 years. That's interesting. August 14, 2006. Powerful legal team stymies detectives. Jeffrey Epstein has donated more than $100,000 to Democratic candidates' campaigns, including John Kerry's presidential bid, the re-election campaign of New Mexico Governor Bill Richardson, and the Senate bids of Joe Lieberman, Hillary Clinton, Christopher Dodd, and Chuck Schumer. Epstein, now 53, back then, was a quintessential man of mystery. He amassed his fortune and friends quietly, always in the background as he navigated New York high society. When he first attracted notice in the early 90s, it was on account of the woman he was dating, Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of the late British media tycoon Robert Maxwell. In a lengthy article headlined, "The Mystery of Ghislaine Maxwell's Secret Love," the British Mail on Sunday tabloid laid out speculative stories that the socialite's beau was a CIA spook, a math teacher, a concert pianist, or a corporate headhunter. So in 2006, they were talking about Epstein being a CIA spook. That's pretty interesting. Daily News, June 9, 1996. An arrow at Archer. Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of late media czar Robert Maxwell, lashed out Thursday night at novelist Jeffrey Archer. Ghislaine admitted she hadn't read Fourth Estate, Archer's thinly veiled bestseller based on the rise and fall of her father. "Why bother?" she said. "It's fiction, just like the earlier biographies," which purported to be nonfiction. Ghislaine, whose father briefly owned Daily News, added that it's no surprise that Archer's Rupert Murdoch-type character emerges as a hero, because Murdoch is publishing his book. Archer recently had the temerity to speak in London at the Kit Kat Club, an all-female debating society founded by Ghislaine. Quote, "I had the time of my life surrounded by women under 40, he wrote afterwards. "I had orgasm after orgasm just talking to them." Ugh, TMI. From the Hawaii Tribune Herald, May 2nd, 2000. Prince Andrew dating Ghislaine Maxwell. I hadn't heard that one before. Prince Andrew is whining and dining Ghislaine Maxwell, the daughter of the late media tycoon Robert Maxwell, the New York Post reported Friday. The newspaper said the two tried to avoid the prying lenses of the photographers after lunch Thursday at Nello's on Madison Avenue. The paper said the prince is trying to keep a low profile. His former wife, Sarah Ferguson, shocked the palace several years ago when she was photographed topless with a Texas millionaire. Ew, gross. Ain't nobody want to see that. Ghislaine Maxwell recently looked at Palm Beach properties, including Jeffrey Epstein's. Palm Beach Daily News, November 21, 2007. Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of the late publisher Robert Maxwell, was reportedly in town recently and looking to buy property. And one of the properties she looked at was Jeffrey Epstein's. That's kind of interesting. The Akron Beacon Journal, August 18, 1999. Bush to raise funds, visit Akron shelter. Democrats prepare for visit by Tipper Gore. Texas Governor George W. Bush, whose visit to Akron on Friday will be his first as a declared presidential candidate, is set to stop at the Haven of Rest before heading to a $1,000 per ticket fundraiser at the Hilton Inn in Fair Lawn. Bush will be coming from Columbus, where he will hold a fundraiser at the home of clothing company executive Les Wexner tomorrow evening. George W. Bush
held a fundraiser at Les Wexner's house in 1999. Wasn't Epstein still in charge of Les Wexner's money and shit at that point? That's interesting.
Fucking stoned.